From up top above Grape Creek, you can look down into Dry Creek Valley, into these small little rolling hills surrounded by redwoods and native oaks, and it's quite an amazing scene. Right now it's so green, and the mustard has come out really early due to these heavy rains we've had in December, and it is alive around here. I'm Gio Martirana. I am the vineyard manager and winemaker here at Martirana Family Vineyards and Winery. We've been here in Dry Creek Valley since 1983, and we've been farming these grapes about 30 acres ever since. Every year, our grapes start to grow in the spring, which of course coincides with when salmon and steelhead are moving into our systems. Basically, as soon as our buds start to grow and we have a frost hit, we need to protect those vines somehow, or else we'll lose half our crop. So what we do is, there's two ways. One of them is with water, which of course is not the best because we're pulling water from the streams that these fish need to work with. The other thing is we can use a fan. And so the fan actually pulls from an inversion layer and uses that warmer air to get rid of the colder air. Martirana Family Winery and Trout Unlimited have formed this wonderful partnership that really is benefiting these fish. Slowly but surely, we had one project that started on Grape Creek where they installed 3 rock weirs along our property. Those were made to hold back fine sediment and also to scour out large pools to keep cool water for the fish to live in and also for them to hide in. We need to protect the waterways around our property. They're on 3 sides of us. They're running through the middle of our property. We have to take care of what's going on around it. That's one of the reasons why I got into organic farming also, was because of what's going to end up in that water. With this restoration work that's been happening over 20 years now, I have seen more fish come back in these recent years. Actually, it was documented in 2013 that there was a wild coho in Grape Creek. So it is working. We're trying to leave this place better for the next generation to come.
This is the thing about salmon. Salmon, they're born in the river.
I actually like the males. They have those big noses. I think that's the coolest thing I know about them.
They go to the ocean.
A lot of times they go back when they're grown ups. They go back where they're born.
And they go back to make babies.
The water from the school comes from the Toll River in the winter, and so the river doesn't dry up in the summer.
It's a beautiful river, but everybody's taking water from it. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people are.
Where I live there's a lot of life where I live.
The Tanks and Forbearance program has been going since about almost 10 years now, and this was the first institutional participant White Thorns Elementary School was. And it's been really exciting to see the educational component of this particular project, because a lot of the other projects, it's like specific landowners, which is wonderful, but this one, it's much more visible to the public and to the kids and the teachers.
When the opportunity came about for us to participate in the forbearance program, it enabled us to set up a system so that we do not have to take water when the flow is low, and we can store water in the wintertime, and keep it throughout the dry season and use it when we need to.
We use a lot of water at this school, like as schools do. We've got 80 children and 10, 20 adults at different times. We use a lot of water. But even more than the water that this particular school uses, we're educating these children, and most of the children live in the area and their parents are landowners. So these are the future stewards of the land. And so for them to understand that conserving water is going to lead to better fish recovery at this age, it's a bigger thing. It's a bigger thing than just saving the water. There are a lot of organizations involved in this area that are all focusing on healing the watersheds and bringing the fish back, and the fish are coming back.
The relationship with Trout Unlimited started with some of the projects that we've been doing. And one of the things that we were very naive about was finding the ways through the maze of bureaucracy to get all the permits needed and everything. And Trout Unlimited, as an established organization, had a lot more savvy in that area and staff that was well versed in that.
This is what the water that you're drinking and what the other animals are drinking. And this is the way we can live. Without water, we can't live. So people should know where their water comes from and how the animals are using it so we don't hurt them and don't hurt ourselves.